Welcome to this online yoga class. My name is Natalie. I will lead you through a 45 minutes Vinyasa flow yoga class. This class is suited for all levels. All my poses are suggestions. You can always choose another pose or adjust according to your own needs. Also, you can come into child's pose during any time in the class. So listen to your body and enjoy. Come and sit on your mat. Find a comfortable way for you to sit. Maybe your legs have to be a bit more open, or you could sit on a block. It makes it a bit easier to sit like this. You can also use a cushion. Then sit up tall, elongate the spine. Roll your shoulders, bring them down. Relax your legs and focus on your breath. Taking a couple of deep and long breaths. All your attention to yourself, to your breath. Everything around you is more and more in the distance. These 45 minutes are all about you. Now start to breathe in and out through your nose. And try to make every in and exhalation of equal length. If you're familiar with Puja Breath, you can start practicing it now. If you've never heard of it, you do it by tightening the back of the throat just a little bit and sucking in the air through the windpipe. So with your mouth closed, it is as if you're doing. You can even hear that hissing sound. If it's your first time, you can focus on breathing in and out through the nose. We do this kind of breathing in yoga to warm up the body faster, and also the sound is louder than your thoughts, so it's kind of meditative. Now while you're breathing in and out through the nose and maybe performing your Ujjayi breath, it's time to lift your pelvic floor muscles and pull in the lower abdominals. In yoga philosophy, these are called your Mula and Uddiyana Bandha. These are energy locks helping to keep your energy inside your body, and also they can protect your lower back in some of the poses. It's a gentle squeeze of the muscles. So out of 100, it's only a 30% squeeze. So try now to lift your pelvic floor and pull in your navel. Continue your long and deep breaths. Then it's time to set an intention. What would you like to focus on today in this class? If you're sitting on a block or cushion, gently take it away and gently open the eyes. Make sure you're still sitting up nice and tall. On your inhalation, sit up tall, and on your exhalation, gently bring one ear closer to your shoulder. And then the other side. Inhale, head up. And exhale, other side. Let's repeat this. Inhale, head straight. Exhale, stretch the side of your neck. Other side. Inhale. And exhale. Back to center. Now place your hands on your shoulders and make super big circles with your elbows and try to follow your breath. So on the inhalation, the elbows come up. On the exhalation, they go down. And really exaggerate these circles. Make them as big as you can. So we gently lubricate the shoulders. Make them nice and warm. Last circle, inhale and exhale. Then lift one arm up. I can be your mirror image, so then you can use your right arm now. And then place your hand in between your shoulder blade and then gently pull on the elbow. So you're bringing the stretch into the shoulder. Head up straight, ribs in, tighten your core. And breathe into the shoulder where you feel the stretch. Then we do the other side. So from your arm up, you bring your hand in between your shoulder blades and you gently pull on the elbow. Might not go as far as my arm. That's fine. Be gentle. Now a deep inhalation and exhalation. Well done. Then we bring our hands like this, and then you bring your hand palms towards each other. So your thumbs are forward. And then again, you pull the arms back, but make sure you don't arch your back. So pull the lower ribs in, so you really bring the stretch into your shoulders. So one deep breath here. And then we do the hands the other side, because in yoga we always make sure we do everything on the left and right to stabilize our body. Nice deep breath here. And then slowly bring your arms down. Let's circle the arms here. Now, if I'm your mirror image, you can bring your right arm in front of you and you can pull it towards you. So you feel the stretch here on the outside of the shoulder. Nice deep breath. And then the other side. So one arm in front of you and just pull it towards you. So you feel the stretch in your shoulder. Inhale. And exhale. Now let's lift our right arm. Inhale. And then exhale, stretch to the side. And then inhale, lengthen again here. And then exhale, gently stretch to the side. So you feel your side stretching. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, reach to the side. Now to the other side. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, keep your sitting bones on the floor. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, stretch the side of your body. One more. Inhale. And exhale. Then slowly come sit up. Then bring your right hand to your left knee. So hand to opposite knee. Sit up tall and rotate your upper body. So from your chest, rotate. Look over your left shoulder. And stay here for a deep breath. And then come to the other side. So opposite hand to knee, lengthen the spine and rotate. So the hips don't move. From your navel upwards, your vertebrae are gently rotating. Then come forward. Now try to interlace your fingers behind your back. If you can't, try and reach your elbows. Inhale, push your chest forward, shoulders back, opening your chest. And exhale, release. Now place your hands behind you on the floor and do it again. Inhale, open the chest. And exhale, release. Now we do it one more time. If you want, you can even lift your hips. If it's not possible, do the one before. Opening the chest and maybe your hips. And come back. From here, we're gonna come to all fours. I'll show you from the side. Hands under your shoulders, knees under your hips. Fingers widely spread, push away from the floor. Inhale, open the chest forward. And exhale, push out your spine towards the ceiling and gaze towards the navel. And again, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. And then you bring your big toes together and your hips to heels and see if you can place your forehead on the floor. If you can't, it can also dangle in the air. Really stretch through your arms, lengthen your spine all the way into the fingertips. And then come back to all fours. Now we're going to prepare for downward dog. You're going to tuck your toes under, bring your hips to your heels. Your fingers are still widely spread, middle finger is pointing forward. And then you press your hands down in the floor from the base of your index finger and thumb. And then you bring your sitting bones up in the sky. You can keep your knees bent a little bit. You don't have to get straight the legs. It's more important that you first stretch out your arms and your back. Bring in your chest towards your big toes. And while you're here, you can pedal your feet. Bring the heel towards the floor one by one. Opening the back of the legs. And then come back on your knees. And then come lie on your belly. For Sphinx. Bring your underarms on the floor. You can also bring them a little bit more forward so it's easier on your back. Make sure your toes are pointing away from you and press down the pubic bone into the floor and bring your shoulders down, opening the chest forward and feeling the back bend in the lower back. And also a bit in your upper back, depending on how close your toes are. So let's keep them on hip distance now. So we bring it more towards the upper back. Then from here, bring your hands on the side of your chest. Now we're going to do the same, but now it's called Cobra because now our hands are by our sides. It's important that you don't really push through the hands, but that you lift your chest from the strength in your back muscles. So the pubic bone is down, you open your chest forward and exhale. You roll back down to the floor. We do this 2 more times. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Now from here, push your hands in the floor, tighten your core muscles and slowly come back into your downward facing dog for 3 long breaths. 1, bring your chest towards your toes. 2, and 3. Slowly look towards your hands. Step your feet forward and then open them hip distance apart. Grab your elbows and relax your head. Shake it yes and no. You can bend your knees here so it's easier to hang and relax. Now breathe into your back and see if you can feel your lower back moving with the breath. And then relax your arms to the floor and bring your upper body from left to right, opening your back and the back of your legs. And then from here, let's bend the knees a bit deeper. Hips more towards the back, and then slowly roll up, pressing the feet down in the floor. Slowly standing up and then placing your hands in your lower back. Tightening the glutes, pushing your hips forward, lifting up through the chest and opening your chest. A gentle standing back bend here, which will be the theme of today. We are going to focus on back bends. So we will do a lot of poses, opening the front of the hips, the shoulders, and doing back bends. Now slowly stand up and step your feet together in front of the mat so we can start with Sun Salutation A, still part of our warming up. Inhale, bring your arms up. And exhale, slowly bow forward. And then inhale, lift your chest halfway, lengthen the spine. And exhale, place your hands on the floor, and you can choose your option. The easiest one is coming down through the knees, chest on the floor. Inhale, lifting the chest, roll your shoulders towards the heels. And exhale, push your hands into the floor and come into downward facing dog. 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Look towards your hands, jump or step in between. Inhale, lift your chest halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come all the way up, bringing the arms up. And exhale, bring your hands down. We do it again. Inhale, arms up. And exhale, bow forward. Inhale, lift your chest. And exhale, choose your option. Come into downward dog, cobra or upward dog. And then into your downward facing dog for 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Look towards your hands, jump or step in between. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. And exhale, bring your hands down. Now we move to Sun Salutation B. If it goes a little bit too fast, because you just started yoga, you can do everything slower in your own time. Inhale, bend the knees, bring the arms up. Exhale, slowly bow forward. Inhale, lift your chest halfway. And exhale, jump or step into Chaturanga and then into your Cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now, turn the left toes to the side and step your right foot forward. You can also do it in an extra step, so you can bring it forward. Inhale, upper body up. And exhale, come down, hands on the floor, footsteps back. Bend your elbows and choose Cobra or upward facing dog into downward facing dog. Now we do the left side. So right toes to the side, left foot steps all the way forward. Inhale, bring your upper body up. And exhale, use your exhalation for strength to come down and choose Cobra or upward dog into downward facing dog for 5 breaths. 1, 2, Keep lengthening your arms and your spine and bring your chest towards your big toes. 4 and 5. Look towards your hands, jump or step in between. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Now bend the knees. Inhale, lift the chest and arms. And exhale, stand up straight. Well done. That was our warming up. Now we're going to start with some flow sequences. So we slowly move towards our peak pose, which is our back bend. From the feet together in front of the mat, step your left foot behind and keep your right foot forward. So you're in a high lunge. It's important you keep your rear heel up in the air and that you push through it so you feel the stretch in the front of the left hip, in your hip flexor. Now bring your arms up and then on your inhalation, straighten both legs. Exhale, bend 3 times. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Now bring your hands to your knee and open to the side on your inhalation, and then exhale, bring your arms forward. Arm 3 times. Inhale, open. Exhale, back. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. Now gently bring the left knee to the floor. If it's a bit hard, you can make it softer by placing something soft underneath, like I've got a yoga prop here, or you can fold your mat double. Now grab your elbows above your head and bring them back so you're opening your chest and shoulders. And then while you're here in the air, bring that right foot a little bit forward and the hips a tiny bit forward. So you feel the stretch on the front of the left hip. You might have to bring the tailbone down a little bit extra. So you feel a good stretch in the front of the left hip and opening your shoulders. All good for the back bend that's coming later. 3 breaths. 1, 2, and 3. Now from here, you're gonna bring your hands on your side and you're gonna stretch your right leg and flex the foot. And then bend forward with a long back. You might be able to bring your hands on the floor, then you can do that. Otherwise, you keep them on your hips. You might be able to slide them forward. So find out where you are, but don't lose the length in your spine. So don't do it like this. Lengthen the spine. Bring your chest towards your big toe. Keep flexing your right foot for 2 more deep breaths. 1. And 2. Slowly come on all fours. Take the prop away if you had one. And come into your downward dog. We're gonna go to the other side. Step your left foot forward now and come into your high lunge. I'm gonna show it from the other side. Otherwise my arm will be stuck into the door. Here we go. Inhale, straighten both legs. Exhale, bend. Inhale and keep pushing your right heel backwards so you have a nice stretch in your hip flexor. Now both hands to your knee and then your left arm. Inhale, open to the side. Exhale, bring the hand forward. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. And exhale. And gently bring the right knee on the floor. If you need something soft, you can put it under the right knee. Left foot goes forward just a tiny bit. And then bring the hips forward so you have a really good stretch in the front of your right hip and your hip flexor. Open your chest, stretch your shoulders as well, and take 3 nice deep breaths. 1, 2, and 3. Bring your hands on your hips. Straighten the left leg. Flex the left foot. Make sure your hips are now over your right knee. And then slowly bow forward and see where you are. So you don't have to place your hands on the floor. If you have blocks or books, you could also use blocks if you're getting close to the floor. Just remember, yoga is never ever a competition. It's all about you, where you are today and how you feel today. And be gentle with yourself. One more deep breath. And then gently come into all fours and push up into your downward facing dog. For 2 deep breaths. 1 and 2. Now we're gonna be on all fours. I'll show you from this side. We're gonna start like we did in the beginning with the cat-cow. So your hands are under your shoulders, knees under your hips, fingers widely spread, push up from the floor. And on your inhalation, open the chest forward, lift your tail, and then exhale, push your back out towards the ceiling. 2 more. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And then from a neutral spine, wag your tail as if you're a dog. This also opens up your lower back and hips nicely. Now the next part will be where your knee comes towards your chest and even your shoulders are arching here, and you try to lift it a centimeter higher. And then from there, you're gonna pretend you can touch your head, or maybe you can. We're gonna do that. So bring your knee to your chest and then try and touch your head with your toes. This is inhale and exhale. 2 more. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, exhale. Now keep your leg like this. If you can try to reach your foot with the opposite arm. So for me, my left hand trying to reach my right foot. Maybe you can reach your trousers if you're wearing long trousers. And make sure the knee doesn't drop. It has to keep going up. And then the leg is pulling on your arm so it lifts your chest. And then you can look over your left shoulder. You can also keep your both hands on the floor. 1 more deep breath. And bring the knee down. Time for the other side. Inhale. Try and touch your head with your toes. Exhale, knee to chest. Lift it a centimeter higher. There you go. 3 more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And keep it up. Choose either both hands on the floor or reaching with your opposite arm, lifting your chest by pulling on your arm with your leg, looking over your right shoulder. Keep that knee up in the air. 2 more breaths. 1 and 2. Gently bring the knee to the floor and stretch it out in Child's Pose for 3 breaths. Knee hip distance apart, big toes touching. And focus on the expansion of your rib cage on your inhalation. And letting the ribs slowly come back to center on your exhalation. 2 more deep breaths. Now from here, you're gently gonna come into your downward facing dog. And then you make it a three-legged dog, so with your right leg up in the air. Then you're gonna bend that knee and try and stack your hips on top of each other. So bringing that right knee up to the ceiling. To do this, you might have to step that left foot a little bit more forward so you can have that heel on the floor. You can also bend the knee, because if the heel is on the floor, it's easier to ground. You're still pushing off away from the floor through the hands, and this stretch also goes in the front of the right hip and anywhere else. You feel it in your body. One more deep breath here. And then you're going to look towards your hands and bring your right knee behind your right wrist. Stretch out the left leg, close this knee, and then bring that right foot forward a little bit. And see if you can come on your underarms or bend your elbows a little bit. If you can go further, you can even stretch out your arms and bring your forehead to the floor. This pose is to stretch the IT band, which goes from the knee over the hip. So if you feel it there, it's good. If you don't, it might be that you're leaning to one side. It's important that your hips are on the same height. You might have to use a block or a book underneath that hip. If you sit on it, then maybe the left and right hip are on the same height. And then you start to feel it here instead of somewhere else. So see what's possible for you. One more deep breath here. And then to make it extra intense, see if you can come up. If you can't come up yet like this, stay here for 3 more nice breaths. If you can, you are gonna challenge yourself and try to lift the other foot and even try to pull it towards you, which is a stretch for the front of the left leg. So all at once. You can also do it with the hips more squared forward. I tend to turn in a little bit here. So do what feels good for your body. And then from here, we are gonna go to the other side. Tuck your left toes under, push off into your downward facing dog. Let's have a nice deep breath here. And then maybe step the right foot a little bit forward. Make it a 3-legged dog, and then bending that knee, bringing the left knee up towards the ceiling. Also the upper body rotates a little bit. You're looking underneath your left armpit. Keep pushing away from the floor. Keep breathing in and out through the nose. And then gently from here, bring the knee down and behind the left wrist. Close the knee and then wiggle the foot forward a little bit so you have room for the right hip. And then come into your pigeon pose. If you're super flexible, then you can work towards bringing your bottom part of your leg parallel with the short side of the mat. So if you can do the box splits, then the foot has to travel a bit more up than what I'm doing. Square your hips, they're on the same height. And then one more deep breath here. Now either stay here, or if it's possible for you, come up with your upper body, bend the right leg and pull it towards you, either with the hips totally squared forward, or I like to do it a little bit like this, turning the hips just slightly and seeing if I can bring my leg closer. For 2 more breaths. 1 and 2. Now tuck the right toes under and come up into downward facing dog for 1 breath. And then from here, come lie down on your belly for the Sphinx Pose. Like we did in the beginning. The elbows on the floor. If you can, they can be directly under the shoulders. If that's too intense, you can bring them a little bit more forward. Now we're going to try and feel the difference between the toes touching and the toes hip distance apart. So first, let's try it with the big toes touching. Push your pubic bone into the floor. Open the chest forward. Roll the shoulders down as much as you can for 3 breaths. 1, 2, and 3. Now come out of it and then open the legs. So now the feet, the toes are hip distance apart. And come back into your Sphinx. Pressing the pubic bone down, lifting the chest, rolling the shoulders down. Now for me it's easier to come up higher because we're bringing the stretch more in towards the upper back instead of the lower back. Although the lower back still has a big stretch, of course. And we stay here for 2 more breaths. 1 and 2. From here, come back into your child's pose. Bringing the knees hip distance apart, big toes touching. Stretching out your arms forward. Forehead on the floor. 3 big breaths here. 1, 2, and 3. Let me just check the time. Okay, we're gonna lie back on the floor. And now this time, we're gonna interlace our fingers behind our back. Toes are pointing away from you. Press the pubic bone down in the floor. And then lift your chest and your arms go back. If you can't interlace your fingers like this yet, you can either do it with your hands on the floor, or maybe you can try it with your elbows, grabbing your elbows with your hands. 2 more breaths. 1 and 2. Relax your head on one cheek. And then we are doing the next pose, which we practiced for. Bending both legs, flexing the feet. If you can, grab your ankles, otherwise your trousers, or maybe your toes, whatever you can get. If you can't reach your legs yet, you can do it like this, where you're lifting your chest and trying to bring your toes towards your head. If you can reach your legs, then press the pubic bone down and pull your chest up by your legs, pulling on your arms. So we do this for 3 breaths. 1, 2, and 3. Rest your head on one cheek. And let's do this pose one more time. Bending both legs. Inhale, lift the chest. 3 breaths. 1, 2, and 3. Now place your hands on top of each other, your forehead on top of your hands. Legs a little bit wider. And shake your hips out from left to right. Massaging your lower back. You can do this as slow or fast as you want. And then from here, come lie on your back. And then first let's bring both knees to the chest, nose to the knees, and gently rock this out. Then stretch out your body, make yourself long. Then bring your knees back to your chest, and then you can choose. We're gonna roll the legs to the left. If you want to make it more intense, you cross the right leg over the left leg. Otherwise, you keep the knees together. So you roll on the left side, the knees come on the floor, and then you can, if there's a room for your arm, stretch out your right arm all the way to the right. So you also have a stretch in your chest and shoulder there. You can also bring it by your ear. But the most important is the rotation in the lower back. So focus on relaxing all the muscles and tissues on either side of the spine. Let them relax whenever you exhale. And then roll the knees back up. And we are going to do the other side. Knees all the way to the right. And then if there's room, open your left arm all the way to the side. Your head can be to the right, to the left, looking up. And focus on the stretch in your lower back. Let all the muscles and tissues relax whenever you exhale. And then let's lie on our back. Now you can choose. Ideally, I would like to do another inversion before we relax. So what could be nice, where's my yoga block? Oh, there. What could be nice is to do your Shafasana, so your deep relaxation in this pose. If you have like a block, you could do it like this with your legs in the air. If you're close to a wall, you could place your legs against the wall and then have the added benefit of an inversion in your deep relaxation, which could be really nice. You can also choose to do the traditional relaxation pose, which is called Shafasana, and I'll show you how that looks. You're lying on your back with your legs straight, your arms away from your body, hand palms facing up. So choose if you're gonna lift your legs in the air or if your body is gonna lie down like I show you now. Both are fine. If your legs are on the floor, just gently move the big toes towards each other and then outwards. And then keep the toes pointing outwards so your hips are wide and relaxed on the floor. If your legs are in the air, make sure you don't have to use any strength or tension in the muscles to keep your legs up. So keep them in the air without having to use any energy to do it. Then only lift the chest and bring the shoulder blades a little bit closer together and lie down fully on your shoulder blades. And palms facing up. Then gently roll your head from one side to the other. And back to center, chin on chest. And relax your head on the floor so your neck and shoulder muscles are relaxed. Then relax your face, relax your jaws and your tongue in the back of your throat. Relax your lips and nose. Relax your cheeks. Relax your eyes and eyelids. Relax your ears. And relax your forehead. Relax all the skin on your head. And now your body is fully relaxed. Now it's time to relax your mind. You can keep lying down with your eyes closed. I'm gonna sit up while I talk you through it, but please remain lying down. If you're not comfortable with your eyes closed, you can also choose a point on the ceiling at which you can stare. Now your body is fully relaxed. It's time to relax your mind. You would like your mind to be empty as possible. But in the beginning, when you focus on it, the mind is super busy. So many thoughts come up and so many feelings, which is quite normal. So our trick will be to focus the mind on one thing. You can either choose to focus on your breath, becoming an observer and noticing how the air moves in and out of your body. Or you can choose a point on your body, for example, your navel, the tip of your nose. You can choose, and then focus all your attention on that single point. Whenever your mind wanders, you only have to bring your attention back to that single point or to your breath, whichever strategy you chose to practice mindfulness. I'll let you practice for the next minute, and then my voice will return. I will now read a short story about mindfulness. We are what we love. It's a quote of Erik Erikson. The famous 20th century psychoanalyst Erik Erikson, who coined the term identity crisis, believed that during our middle years, from the age of 40 to 65, we naturally begin to understand our roles in the bigger picture. It is during this time, he believed, that we find an appreciation for the lasting meaning to be found in serving others. If we are generating meaning by activities such as raising our children, helping others at work, or volunteering in our communities, we feel good about ourselves. If, on the other hand, we sense that our daily lives are devoid of meaning, we feel at loose ends or even despair. Mindfulness helps us to be intentional about pursuing activities that feel meaningful to us. When we mindfully choose how to spend our time, then live in the now of that chosen time, we are living our best life on purpose. Now think to yourself, I intentionally choose to pursue activities that feel meaningful to me. Then gently bring your attention back to the room where you are. Become aware of your body. Gently wiggle your toes and fingers. Then stretch out your body, pretend you're waking up. Gently bring the knees towards your chest and roll to one side of your body using one arm as your pillow. Take a moment there to very gently wake up. And then push yourself up to a sit so we can end the class together with a bow. Come to a sit. Hands in front of the heart. Close your eyes one more time. And think of the intention you had at the beginning of the class. See if you made it happen. And also think of that short story about choosing activities that are meaningful to you. Now in your mind, choose an activity for the rest of the day or for tomorrow that is meaningful to you. And then slowly bow forward. And come up. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have a great day, and I would love to see you again next time. Bye.